Sales tax. It's the one thing in life you can be certain of, that and death. So hopefully you've not had to deal with death today, but let's take a look at a downer, which is sales tax. Let's say that you'd like to go and buy a four-wheeler. Now, if you walk into the dealership and you see the price tag on the four-wheeler, you know you're going to be paying more than that unless you negotiate down. But even if they tell you, hey, this is the price, they're still going to charge you tax. And in the state of Kentucky, we've got 6% sales tax. So let's just say that you buy a four-wheeler that has a sticker price of $7,999. You're still going to have to pay 6% tax on top of it. So taxes actually increase the amount that you're going to have to pay, which is not what we necessarily want to do as a person, but it's just part of life. Now, how do we figure out what the selling price is? That's the cost of the four-wheeler plus any other expenses. In this case, 6% sales tax. So we need to figure out what is the amount of tax. So what is 6% of $7,999? And if you've had me in previous lessons, we know that all we have to do is take the percent, flip it to a decimal. Okay, 6% goes to 0.06, and then just multiply the total amount that's given there for wanting 5% of it. So multiply it by $7,999. So we just pull up our calculator, turn it on, make sure that it's ready to go for us. And as you can see, we've typed in 0.06, which represents the 6%, and there's the total price before tax, $7,999. Hit enter, and we get an answer. In this case, 479.94. So I know that 6% of this amount is $479.94. So in other words, you're not going to pay just roughly $8,000. You're going to be paying closer to $8,500. But the main point of the question is what's the selling price? Well, we have to take the original cost before tax and then add the amount of tax on top of it. So we're looking at this scenario. We just simply add the before tax price with the tax amount that we figured out what it was, and the result will be our selling price. So again, we just go to our calculator, put this problem in, and we have our final answer. And as you can see, it's going to get us $8,478.94 worth of payment that we're going to pay for this four-wheeler, which is a lot more than the $8,000 or so that it looked like we were going to pay. That's how we figure out the selling price of a vehicle. Just figure out how much you're going to have to pay in taxes and then add that amount on to the original price. So again, let's take a look at the steps. If you have a total amount that is going to be taxed, and we know the tax rate, in this case the percent, we just literally take that percent and flip it to a decimal and then multiply it by that pre-tax price. Your answer here is just the amount of taxes that you're going to have to pay. So again, that answer is not your final step to the problem, it's just the amount of taxes, and because taxes is something you pay in addition to it, you're just going to add that on. When we take a look at deductions and that sort of thing, we'll talk about having to actually subtract, but this is just sales tax. Add that onto your original price, and this is your total selling price.